Thanks to the support as a channel member, Jack Watson. Oh, we are over the halfway point of the season now, and we are still only 2 points behind Paris Saint Germain. There is an actual chance we might be in a title race here, but before that, we've got to play Juventus in the Champions League. All of this makes us very much seem like a big club these days. Hello and welcome to part 84 of the Tour de France. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a league game against Nice and then that first leg of the Champions League, first knockout round against Juventus. Since you're last with me, as promised, we've got through a big old bunch of football matches and not lost very many of them at all. Lots and lots of wins. The only defeat we've had was in the Cup against Auxerre when we put the reserves out, or not full reserves, but quite a rotated team. So we've managed to get ourselves knocked out of the French Cup, which is good. We don't want the distraction because we want to go deep in the Champions League. I mean, Juventus are beatable, right? They're top of Serie A. They've been quite dominating over there over the last forever. So, I mean, it'll be fine. What is quite exciting is what our league table looks like. Still just the 2 points behind PSG. Monaco well behind, 14 points clear of Lille after 21 games. It means we're looking very good for being in the Champions League again next year, which of course is the goal. Remember, this coming summer, we move into our new big ground. We're going to be in the Champions League again, fingers crossed. The money is going to really start flowing. We're spent a bit in January. We had an £11 million budget to spend in January. We didn't spend the full £11 million, but we did bring in a couple of young strikers. Sylvain Roux is probably the better of the two. He's an 18-year-old French under-20 international because he's 18. In fact, this applies to both of them. Because they're both 18, they will both become homegrown at club. He's reasonably quick. I'm hoping he's going to be another Omar. 1.5-star current ability means he's not ready yet, but 4.5-star of potential ability means he could well end up being really rather good. They seem to think he's going to be a winger rather than a striker. My plan is very much for him to be a centre forward. We've got Doucouré as a winger. We don't need another right winger. But £4.7 million. I mean, this is the market we're operating in now, having to spend almost as much as we spent on Omar. That's more than we bought Millet for 5 years ago for a player who's never played a game of football in the top division. The market seems to have changed a lot since we've got better. It's like it's improving with us, which is not ideal. The other guy we brought in, Loic Labil-Geraldini, who we've actually loaned straight out again because he arrived with only 4 stars of potential ability. You win some, you lose some with these transfers. He's coming from today's opponent's Nice. Again, never played a game for their first team. £1.7 million, so a little bit cheaper. Not quite as good as the scouts thought he would be. So I've pretty much already written him off unless he goes and has a fantastic loan spell and ends up any good. Who knows? The only other transfer business we did is letting a few more of these players out on loan. So Alanis Morissette's son, who came in the summer, he's gone out on loan, finally managed to get rid of him. Also Riyad Serra, who's a striker who came in the summer. Similar kind of deal, really, 1.2 million. Scored a few goals for our second team. And we've now sent him out to go and play in Ligue to see if he can grab any goals. So the search for a Millet replacement continues. There is nobody in our price range who could come in and come straight into our first team squad. It's tricky because you've got someone like Travis Manctalo, who is probably better than, well, he is currently better than any of those players we've just brought in. He is through our own youth team, homegrown at club, but he's also not yet at first team quality for us. And with the French Cup now disappearing and us being in the business end of the Champions League and still theoretically in a title race, there's no easy games where we can drop him in for game time. So we're in that kind of difficult situation where we can't sign people who can come straight into the first team, but we're also struggling to give the young players who need development enough game time because every game is a big game. It'll be fine. So with all that being said, let's go and hopefully beat Nice in the league. I know some of you will probably argue this is a game where we could rotate a little bit, but I just can't afford to drop any points. The last time I rotated a team was against Auxerre and we got knocked out of the French Cup. They're in the second tier. We just got to keep winning football matches and see where we end up at the end of the season. That's the plan. People will get injured. That's the way people can get rotated in. It'll be fine. So, the team for the game against Nice, it's Mogothu in goal, a back four of Simon, Say, Capital and Laurent. Milinkovic at the base of the midfield, Fowry and Del Palacio Langer ahead of him, who, by the way, still can't come close to affording to sign him permanently. But we did keep hold of Fowry for another transfer window. Seems to be the theme of every window now. In fact, he no longer wants to leave, so we can take that asking price away and see what his actual price range is. Even more. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then we've got Benavides and Nguema supporting Afkir Omar up front. Omar and Benavides are the two players closest to Erling Haaland on the Ligue 1 goal-scoring charts. I mean, obviously, Haaland is a gazillion miles ahead and I think has scored more goals than the two of them combined. But our little partnership, our front two with, I mean, a lot of the time, they're a front two with Nguema in behind. It's almost a diamond when it's in full flow, this system. It's just these two start a little wider. But our front two, the best strike partnership in the league, which is nice. We don't count Haaland because he's a freak and doesn't have a strike partner who's scoring goals. He hogs them all. Monaco trying to make a point that they've got quite a decent striker there as well, with Keane grabbing two fairly early on. Although, I mean, he's not scored as many as Benavides, so maybe they should have played Benavides ahead of him. A lecture in Monaco probably should have done some youth development when we're literally now doing the same thing with our own young players. It's just the price you pay when you're a top team, and we're a top team now. It's difficult to find those opportunities to play the young players, and Omar really needs to do a little bit better there. I mean, that being said, obviously the first half of the season, next year, there'll be plenty of opportunities again. Manktalo did play, and Svetkovic, they both played a decent amount of football in the first half of the season. Them and Doucouré, Blin, Roux, we've got quite a few good young players hovering around the place now who will get opportunities in the Champions League group stages. They'll get opportunities in the early rounds of the French Cup. So it's not that I'm completely writing them off. It's more a case of we're hitting the business end of the season now. It's mid-February. We're still in the Champions League. We're still in a title hunt. We're not in a position to start rotating players. If we get knocked out of the Champions League and it becomes clear we're not going to win the league, but we've already qualified for next year's competition, obviously we can start playing them a little bit more then as well. So it's just, now is not the time. Now is not the time. Right. What it is the time for is a goal. It's still 0-0. We're into the second half. This is a team, if we are serious about having title aspirations, this is a team we should be beating pretty comfortably. Del Palacio Langer in midfield, plays it into Benavides, who's got loads of space to run into and thunders it into the crossbar. In fact, there's a save in there because it's a corner, and we've got the opportunity to get this onto the head of Capital, who is lurking at the far post with Say, and neither of them are able to get a proper connection on it. It comes back to Fowry, now Benavides, but his header straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. Come on, chaps. We need to do a football very, very soon. That's a terrible free kick from Langer, and now Fowry tries to make it look half decent. Laurent back to Capital. Can we get the ball forward, please? Nguema to Laurent again, and he's getting into this wide crossing position that Frey always used to occupy, and Laurent has just carried on where Frey left off, and it looks like we've won a penalty. I think it's Del Palacio Langer who's been fouled in the middle. The referee is going to the VAR. Interestingly, I did have a penalty award go to VAR and not get awarded in one of the in-betweeny games, which I think is the first time I've seen it on FM22. We've gone back to the normal. Of course, it's being awarded there. But Nguema misses it. Is it going to be one of those days today? I could really do without it being one of those days, especially because it looks like PSG are dropping points as well, because we're actually level on points. Well, hold the phone. What is going on? Paris Saint Germain drawing with Lyon. How? Why does it say there that we're 1-0 up? I don't think we are. According to this, Nguema scored the penalty. Well, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. PSG are drawing. We're drawing too, but the game thinks we're winning. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if we're winning or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know why my hand's up in the air. I'm waving my hand around hoping someone's going to come and help me and explain what's going on. We are still definitely showing there as winning. which means I no longer trust this at all. There you go. Now we're drawing again. The game has caught up, and it is now showing Nguema with the missed penalty. We're still showing as having the 3 points on the league table, but I don't know what's going on. Right, let's who have we got who can come on and change the game? Not really many people at all. So I guess actually we just need to be making changes that don't do too much damage, with half an eye on Juventus, which is probably why we're bottling this today, because all eyes are on the Juventus game. So PSG are losing. This is such an opportunity today. Paris Saint Germain losing at home against Lyon, and we've not capitalized on it. That was such a huge opportunity for us today against a team currently in the relegation playoff spot. That was a gift, and we've blown it because we're too busy worrying about ZEBRAS. Oh, story of my life. Let's go play Juventus. I can't believe we've not capitalised on that. Well, I've still not recovered from not capitalising on what happened against Paris, or in the Paris Saint Germain game, but we've just got to focus on beating Juventus, because that seems like something we're capable of doing. It's an unchanged team because of all the reasons I said before. This is our strongest team. The Juventus team, not as terrifying as the Paris Saint Germain team, to be honest. So they're probably going to absolutely thump us, although we do have some decent previous from last year of dealing with teams that play in black and white stripes in European competition. So fingers crossed. It looks like Paris Saint Germain also had pre-big game nerves. They're playing Barcelona while we play Juventus. There's not been hugely favourable draws for the French clubs in the competition this year. And Monaco through? Who did they get? Monaco, I can't even see. Are there 2 different days of matches? Could they potentially be playing on another night? Because I'm pretty sure Monaco got through their group as well. As is normally the case in these kind of situations, we'll be absolutely delighted in this away leg if we can pick up a draw. If we manage to sneak a win, all the better, but we're just aiming to draw, bring them back to our place and beat them on our own soil. That's the plan. And they've headed the ball clear relatively comfortably there, but it's back with Fowry, who they want to be careful sliding in on Fowry like that. He is made of glass. You can't slide in at his ankles like that. They'll shatter. Benavides back to Del Palacio Langer. And there's the cross for Nguema at the far post. And he loves scoring against stripy teams. It's his speciality. Club captain Ulrich Nguema, just before half-time, makes it Juventus 0, Tor 1. Well. Where was that against Nice? So, I mean, we'd have been top of the league now if someone had done that against them, but I guess we'll take this instead. Juventus haven't even had a shot in that first half. I tell you, we're a big club now. We have got, certainly our first 11 is a very, very good team. Yeah, there's some questionable strength in depth, but that's something we're trying to work on with these young players. That's why we're focusing in on signing the youngsters and developing players for our own youth system and all that kind of stuff, because we can't afford to go out and spend £30 million on squad players. Capital, my word. He very nearly let him in there, but in the end, it was excellent defending. And now Omar, one-on-one with the keeper, he's gone round him, and it's 2-0. We're 2-0 away against Juventus, and I don't understand what's going on. This was not on the cards today, and we were obviously saving it. We're in dreamland here. We're 2-0 up away against Juventus. We're going to win the Champions League. This is the last season of the save, boys and girls. It's not, because, I mean, we'll say this now. We're obviously not going to win the Champions League this year, but just so you're all aware of it now and we all remember, the goal of the save was always topple Paris Saint Germain. So as much as obviously we want to win the Champions League, the actual goal is winning Ligue 1, which I guess we could also do that this year. Right, I'm making changes because I always do, but actually thinking about it, no one's tired enough to need changes yet. Let's just not make the changes. We're 2-0 up. Let's wait until anyone actually really needs to come off. Like Del Palacio Langer now is tired, so let's bring on Mr. Europe to play in central midfield. Laurent is shattered, so Frey can come on for him. And then I guess Bamba comes on the Benavides for a little bit more energy in those wide areas. We'll leave Nguema on because he is our captain, our leader, our homegrown boy, and has scored today. So he gets to stay on the pitch. And I mean, that's not ideal, but, you know, context, we always said we were happy with a draw. And even if it ends like this, we're still winning. So that's better than we possibly could have hoped for, even if it ends like that. 2-0 would have been lovely. 2-1, still very lovely. Look at the match stats. They've only had that one shot on target in the entire match. They did score it, which, like I say, not ideal. But we have done ourselves proud tonight. And now Frey, a fresh Frey, charging down the right-hand side. Is that going to be a red card? The referee seems all flustered. I don't know what he sent him off for there, but he did the little flustered chicken waddle as he ran over to him. So we knew he was getting sent off. And that guy misses the second leg. Well, we've just beaten Juventus in Turin. And Paris Saint Germain lost to Barcelona. I mean, this is potentially problematic. If they get knocked out of Europe and we stay in, they're probably going to win the league. But they're probably going to win the league anyway. So let's not worry about it. And let's just focus on winning football matches. Right, we will be back for the next episode. Obviously, second leg. I think what we'll actually do, looking at how close together they are, we'll probably do Juventus and the big Paris Saint Germain game tomorrow. So tomorrow is a huge episode that you're not going to want to miss. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.